I
want to
mean,
record like the actual thing?
this might end up being our actual thing.
Fair point. Okay.
So,
Okay. Ready?
okay.
Do you say hello or do I say hello?
You say
You say
hello.
hello.
Oh,
Say hello? Okay. Hello.
My name's Emily and I'm Asian.
And I'm Ray and I'm half Asian
Together we are one Asian.
and a half.
Welcome to our podcast where we talk about life, stories, news, and more.
Enjoy. So today we are going to talk about crazy backstage stories. Both of us are involved in the performing arts, so we thought it would be fun to share some of our experiences backstage.
Oh my god, I remember when you guys were doing Peter Pan, there was a lice outbreak, right? So what happened during that?
We had to literally desanitize everything. I remember we put every article of clothing in giant trash bags and we had to tie them off, and Blake put like this disinfectant around the entire dressing room and we would just spray everything.
Oh my god. Also, Blake is the drama teacher who's in charge of the musicals and everything.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So everything had to be disinfected before people could touch them?
Yeah, and we had to let everything sit for, I don't even remember how long, maybe like a week or so. Whatever like the time is that lice dies.
So you guys are basically, you did the whole COVID precautions before we had to do the COVID precautions.
Yeah, that was crazy. I remember the day where they made everyone go get checked before you could go to rehearsal. You had to all go to the nurse's office and like have your scalp checked. And so like if you looked in the nurse's office, you would just see like at least 10 kids there at a time. And it was so like it was horrifying because if like you were the one that had lice, everyone else in the room would know because
Yeah.
like you were there, you know? Like I saw
It's not very discreet.
Yeah. And I remember like sitting in dance and we were all talking about it and we were like, oh my God, can the lice like jump off of our heads, like fly in the air? And like we were all like tying our hair up, sitting on stools, so grossed out. And then that was when my hair was still really long.
Oh my god.
I told Miss Hanson, which was the dance teacher, because it was the last period of the day I was going to get checked, and I was like, "Oh, Miss Hanson, I'm gonna go have my hair checked," and she was like, "Your luscious locks, they haven't been cleaned yet." And what? And then I felt so itchy the whole day, but luckily I was clean. Oh my gosh.
Ugh. And also, lice isn't even about how much you shower. It genuinely, if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, you
Yeah.
can get it.
Yeah,
Annoying.
lice like cleaner hair, which I found very ironic.
So what do we talk about next? You being a stripper twice?
Okay, that really makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
Because I'm typecast as like the innocent girl, the like, what's the vanilla girl next door.
That doesn't have much personality, but has enough personality to carry the show.
The one that everyone like is supposed to like, but kind of ends up secretly hating.
Wait, we were talking about stripper, right?
Yeah, the fact that, well, we first were thinking about the fact that we both had to play strippers in Newsies. I
Yeah.
feel like we should give context.
Yeah, probably.
In Newsies, we were like the stage girl performers that had to sing that song.
Don't come a knocking on my door.
Oh, the pain of
And then
practicing the song.
in 8th grade, Ray also got casted as a stripper in the local production of State Fair.
Yeah, that was honestly more fun. We were Stralinko girls.
Yeah. And you and Gracie came up with a dance for that. Like, you guys weren't supposed to dance, I don't think.
No,
was
it was
just
the
sway.
same thing. We were showgirls, so we were like, we might as well have a dance because we have nothing else to do standing here.
Yeah, except looked like cacti.
True, our dresses, or they were okay, this is completely unrelated, but I remember like we were originally costumed in these really cute little green cocktail dresses,
Yeah.
and then we were like, oh my God, we love them, and then they were just like, no, we don't like it, and then they put us in these giant shirts with sequins and shoulder pads and these feathered hats, and then we became Cactus.
But when we got to play the strippers, honestly, the outfits weren't that bad. Obviously, it was a little crazy, but we were definitely able to hide behind the foot tall, curly, bleached blonde wig and the corset. So at least we were completely not ourselves.
Yeah, we were able to completely hide our identities.
Honestly, that role was really fun to play, and that was the last time I was in a musical, because I didn't get to do Peter Pan last year, so, well, let's move on to stories from Peter Pan.
So Captain Hook, at the end of the show, Captain Hook is supposed to bring out this bomb, and he's supposed to threaten to blow up the ship. And we're all like, everyone is on stage, like this is the last scene, everyone's supposed to react and be like, oh my god, the bomb, save us, Peter Pan. And I think this was like the third night, but he forgot the bomb, like there was nothing there. And what's funny is he turns away from the audience when he picks up the bomb, and everyone on stage could see his reaction as he like had this sheer moment, like he literally, okay, he's
No way.
already pale, and he literally turned paler, like he was white, like a ghost, and we could just see the sheer amount of panic on his face as he realized that he screwed up. And
oh my god.
But he was so quick on his feet, like he picked it up, and I forget what he said. I think he was like, what did he say?
Honestly,
he said, I've rigged a bomb to blow up in like 3 seconds.
No way.
Yeah, he thought of it so quickly on the spot, and the whole cast, like all of us were reacting, but like our brains were like going at 5,000 miles an hour, just being like, oh my god, he's so smart. And then I've rigged it to go off in 3 seconds, and it was amazing. The adrenaline that was happening in that moment was unbelievable.
This is why live performance is just like a billion times better than recorded.
For sure.
Also, oh my god, remember in Fiddler? During the wedding scene, and every one of us was on stage, like all the daughters, all the mothers, all the sons, all this, like whatever. And it was, the mic had feedback, so it was like, and it happened multiple times. And the person who played Tevye, who's like the main dad guy, he was like, God, and then he just rolled with it. He just kept, wait, what did he say?
He was like, God is speaking to us. It was an amazing save. Like I remember those moments really just like the adrenaline. I can feel the adrenaline going through my body when I think about those memories, because like all of us just started like, we were like, oh my god, we were all looking up to the ceiling and we're like, he's talking, we can hear him. It was so funny.
Yeah, and we had to really hone in, because I remember I was at the very front, I think stage right, and so I was
the shortest. We were right up front.
Yeah, and so I was like looking around, and I couldn't stop laughing, so I had to look up stage because I could not contain myself. Oh my god, that was.
Yeah, I think at least half the cast broke character in that moment. It was so funny. Okay, so our school does one acts, and that's basically where advanced drama gets to write like mini scripts, and then they get to cast and direct other students, which are usually like underclassmen, and then people that aren't in advanced drama. And it's basically like all the one acts, since they're really short and they're written by students, they're usually pretty funny, very like relevant to the times and everything. And the way that auditions work are a little different than normal auditions. They're much more stressful, I could say. They have you stand up on a line on the stage in the dark, and all of the other, keep in mind, these are like students that are just like a few years older than you. So as a freshman, like you're petrified by these seniors that you look up to, and they're sitting there in the dark. Their faces are lit by their laptop screens, and they are just judging you.
Oh my
god. Is so terrifying. But you stand up in a line, and you just have this paper of like one-liners to read, and you basically just go down the line and you just read the line one by one. So it's basically just to see like who can make the most interesting choices or who they could see playing the role. But the lines are nothing normal or natural.
Yeah, they're basically just the most sporadic one-liners ever. And sometimes they're not even a line. It's just an action. For example, I think I've only auditioned for one acts twice, but my freshman year when we auditioned for one acts, literally we had to, like, the little description just says, play a pig doing a jig. And I was like, what? a pig doing it. There were no lines. You didn't say anything. You just had to get on all fours and pretend you were a pig doing a dance. And Ray and I were actually in the same kind of audition group. And so there were like 5 of us on there or something. And she was right before me, and this girl gets on all fours, starts snorting, and just completely goes for it. And I was like, shoot, I was so jealous because I just didn't have the confidence.
I'm remember. Not gonna lie, I don't have any I remember reading the line, but I have no recollection of what I actually did, and I think my mind has truly blocked that memory out of my brain because I could not tell you what I did.
You just went for it, which I always think that this is true, where if you just do something confidently, it seems like you're doing it right, you know? Right. And so because you did it so confidently, I was like, crap, I don't know what I'm doing. There was like other ones too, where we had to pretend to be a dog.
Yeah. Sometimes it'll say like, read this line in this accent, or say this as like, I remember, oh my God, wait, things are coming back. We had to, one of the lines said cry like at a toilet or something like that, and people were making up these hilarious jokes where like, and then like to make it even worse, okay, also keep in mind we have no preparation, like we don't get to see the lines beforehand. You literally have like 5 to 10 seconds max to think about what you want to do.
It's basically improv. They just give you a prompt and then you just have to go off of it,
right? And you have just like right then to do it. And like people were making these hilarious jokes and building off one another, and like I can't make jokes off the top of my head. It just doesn't work that way. And I remember just being like, oh my God, this is so bad, like everyone's going for it and I literally have nothing. I got the role though. Now I just realized that now that I was the girl who Amy.
Oh so yeah,
I didn't even make that connection because everyone was making funny jokes, so I thought the role was funny.
24-hour theater.
Yes.
Which I hated, but Ray had a much more positive experience with that. To give context, we're obviously not going to say the name, but everyone who will actually spend the time to listen to this podcast, Ray has played love interests twice with her ex-boyfriend. And one of the times was for this one act where she played an old lady, and then you can talk about what you did in that scene.
So the like point of the scene was basically like a dating show, and the grandma gets the date with the guy who was my ex-boyfriend, or actually at this time he was my boyfriend. We were still dating.
Really?
Yeah, because I remember the whole cast found out while we were practicing, because oh my God, wait, I remember. Because we were so, like, well, I was not. He was very awkward. And I remember one of the upperclassmen was like, oh my God, like, have you never been around a girl? Like, just stand near her. God, what's wrong with you? But he was so awkward because nobody knew that we were dating. But the whole cast eventually found out later that day, and the upperclassman was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry for making it so awkward and weird.
That is so funny. But you guys were dating for a while before that. Wait, when was this?
This was sophomore year, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was.
Very funny. Anyways, the point of the story that we were going to share is I had this one line that I was so excited to say. It was basically after I get the date, I was like, okay, Henry, I'm ready to I'm single and ready to mingle. And like, I did this little cha-cha, and I was like with my cane and my glasses, my wig. And I was like, I don't know why that line stuck with me, but I genuinely was so, like, I loved that line so much. I delivered it beautifully, in my opinion. And then, so 24-hour theater is basically you only perform the show or that number once. It's a one-time thing. You never go back to it. And in our one performance, I forgot the line completely. Just completely blanked and had to move on, and I never got to actually say the line, and I still am disappointed in myself.
Yeah, I do remember us all talking afterwards, because this is when we had like a super close-knit group of friends in FAPA, and you were so upset about it. Also, fun fact, both of us played elderly people. Well, technically, my character wasn't actually elderly. It was a little girl who wanted so badly to be an old person. I think it's because she was lonely, but she wanted so badly to be an old person that she dressed up like a grandpa. So me and my fat suit and wig, Ray and her cane, we actually have like a cursed photo of us, which is still one of my favorite photos of us ever.
Yeah. And okay, another funny thing with that picture is I remember I had been saying the whole time, I was like, Emily, like, we have to take a picture, like, this is the one time we're both gonna be elderly. And then, like, at the end of the night, you were having such a bad day. And, like, you were like, I just don't want to. And I literally forced you outside, and I was like, we are taking this picture.
Really? I don't remember. See, this is what
You
I
don't
mean.
remember that?
I genuinely blocked out everything from that day. I don't remember any, like, the only reason why I remember we took that picture is because I have that picture in my camera roll.
Wait,
I don't
that's
remember.
so funny. I
Yeah.
felt so bad because I also, like, I hadn't seen you pretty much the whole day because 24-hour theaters, you have 24 hours to learn, like, costume, do the entire show, and perform the show. So I, like, hadn't really seen you the whole day because I'd been learning lines, rehearsing, and I didn't know you were having such a bad day. So, like, I didn't understand why you didn't want to take this picture. And I was like, Emily, like, come on, we have to take this picture. But I'm so glad you don't remember because I felt terrible afterwards for forcing you. After, like, the next day, you were like, I had the worst day yesterday. And I was like, crap.
But also, I had no reason to have like a really bad day. So I don't, that's also another reason why I don't think I would have been mad at you. Because you're just asking for a pic, like, and we both were elderly people. That's so weird. How did that happen? Another episode coming up where we talk about our entire lives are just parallels of each other.
That is true.
But that's a whole other conversation, so.
Well, I'm sure we have more stories, but this is all we could think of for now.
We hope you enjoyed at least one of our backstage mishaps or whatnot.
So we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Bye.